So, is there a volume 2 out yet?
There's not a volume 2 out yet. I will say Treasurez in the Sun is part of an 8-part series called the In the Light of the Sun series. So there's actually 7 more books that were already written. Okay? So Treasurez in the Sun specifically doesn't have a Treasurez in the Sun volume 2 yet.
Okay.
I've decided that all of these books in the Light of the Sun series, um, only 2 of them will have a volume 1 and a volume 2. And them 2 books are the first 2 books in the series, which is Treasurez in the Sun and Today's Tomorrow's Yesterday. But the part 2 of both them books won't be included in the series.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, by then I expect them to be their own entities, and at a later date I will revisit that and do a volume 2, and then I'll revisit Today's Tomorrow's Yesterday and do a volume 2. Yeah.
So, can you tell me a little bit more about TZD Publishing?
TZT Publishing Group, like I said, I couldn't find the kind of book about the pharaohs and the Kushites and stuff that I wanted to read. Since reading The Wonderful Kushites of the Ethiopian Empire, written by Drusilla Dundee Houston, fantastic book, and Sheikh Anthony Up's The African Origin of Civilizations, Myth or Reality. After reading them 2 books, I couldn't really find nothing else like that, other than Dr. Malachi York and stuff. But me and my brother came up with TZT. So TZT stands for the Zampolardis Theory. My surname's Zampolardis, yes, I know it sounds very long. But yeah, so the Zampolardis Theory was established by me and my brother in 2018 officially, because we wanted an unfiltered channel where we could put our story out and our perspective out, things that are relative to indigenous people, organic people, black people, if you like. You understand? And we felt like in order to do that, we'd have to have our own publishing company. Like, I wouldn't feel comfortable bringing out Treasures in the Sun on somebody else's publishing company. Me having my own publishing company means I can say what I want. I don't have to tailor it towards certain people, and because the truth don't care about feelings. So I'm very much one of them people who, when I'm in the truth thing, I don't care about feelings.
Most
And I get
definitely.
into trouble with it in my own family. But we all have our purpose, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Fabulous. So, what can we expect from you in the future?
What you can expect from me in the future is fantastic. I have a whole lot of projects that I'm buried in now. So I currently have a comic coming out. It's part of my brother's horse academy. My brother has a horse academy that works with young inner city young ethnic groups who have never had the experience of equine, which is horses, equinery. So his academy, he came up with this thing where he wanted a comic done with all the children as characters. So he came to me to write a script. Wrote a fantastic script. It's brilliant. It's called Them a Panic, I think. And we're turning it into a comic book, and also hopefully, fingers crossed, the cartoon. So that's in the pipeline. The script's already done. Everybody's ranting and raving about the script. I have a book on coronavirus. So this will, I know a lot of you will be waiting for this, but that's called Coronation Lockdown 2020. That's due to come out at the end of this year. But soon, let's say in the next couple months, I have the book 2 of the In the Light of the Sun series. So it's the follow-up to Treasures in the Sun, and that's called Today is Tomorrow's Yesterday, The Persistence of Existence, Volume 1. And that one, this particular book, like how Treasures in the Sun is more like a historical roadmap through time and an alternative history, the book, book 2 of the series, Today's Tomorrow's Yesterday, is more focused on the actual teachings and a contrast of them between philosophy, religion, and science. So we're having a look at all of them 3 aspects: philosophy, religion, and science, in and outside of Egypt and Kush and the Nile Valley. And we're comparing it with like Greek philosophy, religion of today, Islam, Christianity, Western theoretical science. And then at the end, we're having a close look at the quantum science of the ancestors and the solar biology of the ancestors. So that's what you can expect in the next 2 years. They're the main things. And sorry, I have another book as well called Between the Lines of History: How Caucasians Destroyed the Ancient World. And this book, I would say, is probably going to be my magnum opus because it involves the most thought and the most research and the most emotion. It's harder. It's a harder book to write than just something like Treasures in the Sun or Today's, Tomorrow's, Yesterday. It involves a lot of coming across a lot of stuff that you probably never knew before, and coming into a lot of new information. And then lastly, I have a novel coming out. I've not decided who I'm going to write about, but I feel like writing a fact-based fictional story, whether it's based on King Tut or Pharaoh Menez or the Olmecs. I haven't yet decided, but they're the most current projects I have in the bag at the moment. Today's, Tomorrow's, Yesterday's done. It's in proofreading stage. The front cover's done, so everything's done for that. It's just being proofread, check for typos, and then in about 2 months I'll be ready to print that. And then obviously we take it from there. But yeah, that's what you can look forward to.
Amazing. Thank you very much. I look forward to reading them.